Hey, what's up, everybody? It's your good friend Airsoft Man 819 here again with yet another video. Sorry I haven't seen you guys in a while. Life just kind of gets in the way, and on top of everything else, the weather here in Ohio has not been the greatest. And the filming location that I'm currently using is connected to my garage and is not climate controlled, so I gotta kind of wait until it's not absolutely freezing to come out here and film videos right now. Because the basement is currently under renovation and will be probably for some time. So that's kind of why I'm out here. So a video I'm really excited to do for you guys that I really wasn't expecting to do, and I kind of got introduced to these devices kind of indirectly. I've done videos of cassette players and different music devices in the past, which I do have a lot more cassette related videos that I would like to do because I have a lot more cassette machines that I have not made videos on. But basically, the way of listening to music and taking portable media around with you was MP3 players. Cassettes and CDs were still around when I was a kid, but they were sort of starting to go by the wayside. And kind of by the early to mid 2000s, MP3 players pretty much took over. But the MP3 player that I had as a kid definitely did not look like this. The one I had as a kid more resembled this, and the one that most of us probably had resembled something like this, made by RCA or SanDisk, just a very cheap, lightweight plastic flash-based MP3 player with a few gigabytes of storage that you could have some, music on and some, basic music videos. But outside of that, it was pretty much all you could do with it. So pretty much what we're making a video on today is going to be that on steroids, which is going to be the Archos 605 Wi-Fi. Now, this is one of two brand new, fully functioning Archos devices that I have. These devices are actually extremely rare to find in good condition and functioning, and I've got two of them. And I'm going to be doing videos on both of them. This is just the bigger, more modern version of the two that I have. So essentially what this is like I said, sort of like an MP3 player on steroids, but it has a lot more functionality than that. It has the ability to not only store MP3 music, but you can store high-resolution photographs, you can store TV shows, movies, and it has an ability to connect to your television and record your television shows as a DVR. And what makes this device unique is how much storage it was able to have for the time. Because you have to think this was pre-Android. This device came out, I don't know if I previously stated or not, this device came out in 2007, which I believe the first version of Android was commercially available to the public in 2008. It could be 07, but I'm pretty sure it was 08. And if that's the case, this definitely predates Android. And that's pretty much what I would call this, is a pre-Android tablet. But in some ways, it has more functions than a tablet does. And it's just in some ways fundamentally different. This is not a flash storage based device. It does not have solid state storage. This actually has a tiny little hard drive in it. But due to that, these were able to have tremendously high amounts of storage for the time. And this individual one here is 80 gigabytes. It might say it's somewhere on the, here it is, 80 gigabytes. So this was made during the Windows XP era, so it gives you the minimum computer system requirements here. It was made to be used with Windows XP, but it will still function with Windows 7, 8, 9, and not 9. What am I talking about? 7, 8, 8.1, and 10. And I don't know about 11. I don't have a PC running Windows 11 right now, so I haven't tried this with Windows 11. But I'm assuming it would work because it works with Windows 10. Because basically when you connect this to a computer now, it just registers it as an external hard drive with various different folders that you can drag and drop your media and put it on. I might do a video of connecting this thing to a computer, I'm not sure. But it does run on USB 2.0, which gives it pretty decent transfer speeds even for the current time. So basically, what the package includes is the Archos 605 Wi-Fi device, the DVR station saddle. So basically, it's the bracket that helps the Archos sit on the DVR station. So it doesn't come with the DVR station, it just comes with the bracket. So if you want the DVR station to connect this to a television, you would need to buy that separately. And the cool thing about the DVR station is it has HD outputs and stuff where you can hook this up to a TV in HD and not only record your television shows, but watch them back or watch back content that you already have on this. So you could load the Archos with movies, take it with you somewhere, hook up the DVR station, plug the Archos in, and you can enjoy your movies either on the screen on the television, or you can pull the Archos off of the DVR station and enjoy them on the Archos itself, because obviously it has its own screen. The name basically implies, the 0 is basically like a space or an asterisk or whatever. It's the 6-inch screen, even though it's like a 4.5 or 5-inch screen because of the bezel. But it's a 6-inch screen, 5th generation with Wi-Fi. So that's basically the namesake, how they named it. So we'll go ahead and pull off the outer box. The device itself is sitting here on the side. I'm just going to show you guys what the box looks like when you open it. The Archos device will be sitting here with a screen protector on it. It's got this piece of foam to press down on the Archos device to hold it into the box, and it's made of very solid foam. And I got this Archos device, obviously, about 14, 15 years after it was made, and it was still brand new in the box and wasn't damaged and was still perfectly functional. So the box more than did its job. So you lift up the foam here. It's just a block of foam. You pull open the box here, and you have your accessories. This is the DVR station saddle. Basically, it's just a plastic bracket that perfectly fits the Archos device, because the DVR station works with multiple Archos devices. So this bracket essentially makes your Archos device fit on the DVR station. So that's what this little bracket is for. And even says on here what model numbers it works with. So that's never been out of the plastic. Really cheap, terrible earbuds that I'd not recommend using. You can see they're still in the package, and that's for a reason. Even I didn't care to use them. This is the bag the USB cable comes in. I already have that out of the box over here. This is your USB cable. It's USB 2.0, but it has the proprietary Archos plug on the one side, which is really wacko looking. It's like an old plug for a printer or digital camera or something. So you get 50 free music downloads from eMusic, obviously expired. Legal and safety notices. You have your quick start guide, which that is a really thick quick start guide. The actual manual is in PDF form on the device. Some more attention stuff, warnings. These are the accessories. Actually, I'm going to show some of these. That way, what I'm talking about has a little bit more context as of what I'm trying to refer to. So, let's see. So you could actually get digital plugins for the Archos device to plug more media into it that could be played back. Because out of the box, it only could play AVI, MPEG-4, and WMV files. So if you wanted to play VOBs, MPEG-2s with AC3 audio, you needed to buy these plugins, which was sort of the one of the Achilles heels of these devices. Archos kind of nickeled and dimed people with this stuff. They made really good devices, but to get the full functionality, you had to buy these plugins. So that's kind of why, even though Archos made really good devices, they just didn't last quite as long as other companies. At least in the United States. They still exist, just not here. But there's your DVR station, shows how that works, shows how you can, it comes with a remote as well, which I think is pretty neat. They even had a little helmet camcorder. They had a DVR travel adapter, FM remote control. I mean, they just had cases, car chargers, car mount. I mean, come on. This is just awesome. You could turn it into a boom box with these portable speakers. Pretty sweet. I'm not going to waste too much time on this. I'm going to waste way too much time looking at this. I hadn't looked at this until now, so I'm just going to go ahead and throw this in here before I get too distracted and bore the shit out of all of you. So we're going to put the box away, get the device out, talk about it, because that's what everybody really wants to see anyhow. What the hell it can do and what it looks like and how it compares to modern devices. So it also comes with a sleeve, which I haven't pictured until now because I keep the Archos device in its sleeve because this isn't flash storage. Like I said, this has a hard drive in it. So if you drop this on a hard surface while it's spinning, you could easily brick it. So if you have, I can't stress it enough, if you have one of these and it's still working, please be careful with it. I've seen a couple guys make reviews on these on here, and they are just throwing them around, and I'm like, what is wrong with you? These are very delicate devices. So here it is, the 605 Wi-Fi. So we'll go over the pouch really quick, get all the boring stuff out of the way first. So it's pretty soft on the inside to keep it from scratching, and you have a little slot. And in that slot, you have a stylus, because this model has a touch screen. Not all the Archos models did, but this one does. And honestly, though, you really don't need the stylus. The touchscreen's pretty sensitive. You just poke it with your fingers. So I find myself just kind of leaving this stashed inside the case just for a rainy day. But pretty nice little case to carry it around in. So I might go ahead and zoom in a little bit, or I'll just lower the camera down slightly, because at this point we really don't need to focus on much else other than the device. So, okay, so here it is. It's very clean. It doesn't look too dated. The bezels kind of give it away. Also, the physical buttons do. But honestly, in my opinion, this is a leap forward, because I don't understand why devices no longer have physical buttons, why it's considered so archaic to have physical buttons. You know, what if the touchscreen is a little bit off on its calibration, or you just don't want to be fingering a screen all the time? You know, am I the only one, or am I just old-fashioned that way? There's a little bit of something on the screen. I've got a microfiber cloth here. I hate dirty screens. A microfiber cloth here. We'll just take care of that right now for all of you OCD people out there like me. That's why I apologize for my hands being dirty, because I work in a workshop and my hands are always dirty. Okay, there's a hair there. Okay, close enough. So you have it is a stereo speaker, even though it's only in one location. There is stereo somehow, and you can see that it's stereo when you're in the settings, because you have both channels. So I don't really understand how this works, or maybe it's only stereo when you plug in your headphones, because you have a headphone jack over here. I'm not quite sure, but the speaker on this model is actually really good. It can get really loud. It's clear. It doesn't have that tinny sort of crackly plastic noise that cheap speakers have. It does get a little bit overwhelmed sometimes. I can't really quite describe it. If you have the volume all the way up, and the volume of the file you're playing is also really high, the speaker can kind of get overwhelmed, so you have to kind of turn it down a couple notches. But despite that, the speaker is really good in this. Basically, your entire bezel and outer screen right here is metal. Pretty solid. On the front, you have Archos 605 Wi-Fi, your speaker, 05 series, like I said, the 5th generation. This was the last generation, by the way. There was never a 6th generation. Archos moved, like many other companies, moved to Android devices after this, sadly. So you have your buttons over here on the side. They're very clearly marked and very easy to use. They are what's called rocker switches. They rock side to side. Each button has 2 functions. So you have your OK and your back. You have your arrow keys, up, side to side, down. These are like your skip buttons or your fast forward buttons. These are your menu and tab buttons. And this is your volume rocker down here. So all good controls right at your fingertips, right when you need them, when you're holding the device. You don't accidentally press them because they're rocker switches. If you press the very middle of them, they won't do anything. So you have to rock your finger on them to activate them. So you can sit and hold the device like this and not accidentally be pressing buttons. You can see I'm doing this and I'm not pressing anything. So really clever design. And you can navigate through this thing quick with these buttons without even needing the... I rarely ever use the touchscreen on this thing because the buttons are just that good. So the top bezel here is metal as well. You have the Archos logo imprinted into the top bezel. They just don't make stuff this well anymore. It's just a bunch of cheap glass and plastic. You have a TV/LED button. You can switch between the Archos and the television with this button when it's plugged into a DVR station. I can't show the functionality of that button, obviously, right now because I don't have the DVR station. You have your power and standby button. When the device is in standby, you tap this to turn it back on, or if it's completely off, you use this to turn it back on. You have your hard drive activation LED right here, which tells you this thing does have a hard drive in it, an 80 gigabyte mini ZIF hard drive that's 1.8 inches. So good luck finding another one if you drop this thing and brick it. Oh, and the hard drives are serialed to the devices, so you can't just swap the hard drive out on this and it'll work. It has to be coded to the device. So over on this side, you have nothing. On the bottom, you have these little dimples for sitting in the DVR saddle. The middle port right here is your USB/charge port. This port is used pretty much exclusively for the DVR station and connecting this to a TV with HD video. 2 proprietary ports, but they both fulfill their purpose pretty well. And like I said, the USB on this has pretty good transfer speeds, so I do like that. So on the back, fairly simple. You have your serial number, 80 gigabyte down here. Archos 605 Wi-Fi audio-visual player. So that's what they call it on here, is an AVP audio-visual player. So I think that's a good term to refer to this by. So over here, you have a kickstand. So you just get your fingernail up under here and just kind of pull that out, and there you go. You have a kickstand. So you can stand the Archos up and watch it on a table, or, you know, if you're on a bus or a train or whatever and you have a little table you can prop it up on, you can watch it, or if you're on an airplane, which is kind of the market that this thing was intended for back in the day. And honestly, I'd recommend using it for that now. Because it's very easy with modern software to take your movies, whether it's DVD or Blu-ray, and convert them to digital files and put them on here and watch them without needing an internet connection. Because technically, I'm going to go ahead and turn the device on. You have a green LED on top, and there's your hard drive LED. The good thing about this is, even though this technically has Wi-Fi, it's an ancient form of Wi-Fi, and the internet browser on this doesn't work. And even if it did, I would have had to have paid $30 for it, because that's another thing with the Archos you had to pay for. If you wanted to use the internet on this, you had to pay for that too, and it was $30. And the video plugins, I think, were $20 a piece. So if you wanted to watch VOBs and browse the internet, you had to pay $50. $20 for the VOB plugin and another $30 for the browser. So even though these devices were really badass, that's kind of what killed them, really. Here's the home screen. Obviously, they had their own proprietary operating system. This was before Android or anything like that. So you have video, music, photo, files, which is your file browser. These 4 functions really aren't going to work anymore because of the device's age, but you had widgets like little apps and things you could get to help make your Archos experience more convenient. You had your TV recorder, which would work in conjunction with the DVR station to record your TV shows once connected. You had your web browser, which once again you had to pay $30 to get. And you have your content portal, which is essentially the app store of the day. This is where you would buy your plugins. This is where you would buy the internet browser. This is where you would go to spend your money, basically. So, and you have a basic menu here you can bring up with the menu button. You can resume your last movie. If you go down, you can enable the Wi-Fi, because to use the Wi-Fi on this, you have to enable it every time. It was a battery-saving feature for back in the day. And not to mention, this thing really doesn't rely much on the internet. You really don't need the internet with this thing. It's just kind of a nice to have thing on here, because pretty much all the internet was good for on this was connecting it to my Wi-Fi and updating the firmware on this. That was pretty much the only thing. So you go into your settings, and you have a lot of different settings. You have sound, display, appearance, language and region, TV control, clock, power, parental control. You can check what firmware and plugins you have, the system information, pretty much everything you would need. So very, very decently loaded operating system. You could do pretty much anything you need to do on here. So we'll go ahead and close that. So I'll go ahead and play a video for you guys on this thing, because I can't really play any music, because I have some movies on here, but I can't play them, obviously. But they do work, I promise. But the resolution on this screen is 800 by 480, which for 2007 is actually pretty good. And for watching DVD movies that have been converted, The screen actually works out really well. Converted DVDs look really good on here. Too bad I can't show any. But this is one of my YouTube videos that I ripped and put on here.
Hey, what's up everybody? It's your good friend
See that speaker?
Man 819 here again with yet another video. Gonna be showing you guys my current PC setup, at least my desk. I have two PC setups here. One is hooked up to the television.
Go ahead and fast forward so I can show you guys that. You hit these little buttons and you can skip by, what is that, 30-40 seconds?
I've used this computer for so many hours and so many things have happened to it. I've done so many things to it. I've been through so much with this thing. It would be unfair. It's amazing how much you can separate them. So I've put the speakers on each side of my monitor, and the speakers just look really awesome. They're vintage 1986 speakers.
So for a device made in 2007,
made in Japan,
not bad.
Sanyo.
And for, you know, chilling on the couch or laying in bed watching movies, it's actually pretty perfect. So,
just haven't had the time or energy
see, I haven't had the time. I'm sorry, I just haven't had the time. Haven't had the time to do more boombox videos. So, basically, if I wanted to bookmark this spot, like if I want to come back and sort of watching this video from this spot, if I go to menu here, go down to set, I can set a bookmark. And when I set that bookmark, I can come right back to this spot on this video. So, fairly modern features. You know, you have basic quick resume, you know, pretty much almost HD video, 80 gigabytes of storage, very easy controls, a very nice looking operating system where you can change the color and the themes. You can listen to your music, watch your videos, browse through your pictures. I have several songs on here that I also can't play, but I will show you. So, you know, it's a really neat device. If you guys want to see more of this device, if you guys have any questions, or if you guys want me to do any more demonstrational videos of this device, just let me know. Otherwise, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I do plan on making another video of my other Archos device that's a little bit older and more basic than this, but still really cool. So I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you all later.